I'm going to show you guys how I make a coin ring. First, you have to choose a good coin. So see this Canadian coin right here? It's got like this really cool maple leaf edge, and that is what actually becomes the ring. So you got to choose an interesting pattern. Today, I am making a ring with a coin from Denmark, and this is the one I've picked because it says Denmark right on it, and it's got that cool wheat kind of pattern. So I'm going to show you what we do. The first thing I have to do is measure the coin, and I use this little caliper to get the exact measurement, and I have to figure out what the center of that coin is. Then I have to figure out the size of the punch I'm going to use to punch the hole, and then I subtract it from the coin size, and then I divide it by 2, and this math, guys, math, 5.7. Now that I have my number and it's on my caliper, I have to use a marker and just mark all the way around the coin and draw a circle, and it'll look like this when I'm done. First thing I do is I take my punch, my die set, my punch and die set, and I have to line up my coin hole perfectly in there. And I mean, if it's off center even by a tiny, tiny bit, the ring is just not true. It's like lopsided, so this is important. I do this next part with my Thor hammer on the floor of my garage because it's just better on the cement. I can get it in 1 or 2 whacks. Whoops. There, it's through. Just punch that the rest of the way through. Now it's time to anneal the metal, so I'm just going to heat these coins up until they glow. Turn my light up so I can see. And once they kind of glow a really faint orange color, I stick them in cold water to quench them, and then they are a lot easier to work with. The metal is really pliable at that point. They're kind of glowing. I'm going to take them over here, quench them. Now I'm going to take my coin and put it face down in this doming block, add this kind of steel ball, and put it in my arbor press, apply some pressure, and it bends the coin into a little kind of like cone shape. I use an arbor press to do this because I've used a hammer before, and when you use a hammer, you just beat the crap out of your coin and it kind of mars the metal and ruins the design. I've done as much as I can with my arbor press, and now I'm going to put the ring as it is on my stretcher, and I'm just going to bend the small side out as much as possible, but not too far, so we're still kind of like a cone. So during the stretching process, we have to anneal it several times, meaning heat up the metal, because it'll tear the ring in half if we don't. So I'm going to go do that again. Okay, so once I have the ring pretty much flat, I use this mandrel to tell me what size it is, and I use this thing to either stretch it larger or this little dial below to shrink it to the right size, and that's how I size it. I thought you might be curious how this thing works. So see, this is the ring stretcher, and when you put the ring on there and then you pump the handle, the little metal pieces kind of separate. You can see them separating. That's what makes the ring bigger. And if you want to make a ring smaller, you have to put it in these little holes here and then turn it, and then you pump the thing down and it smashes it and fits it into these circles, which are different sizes. Is this interesting? Okay, so now this is what I've got. I've made 2 rings today. One's gonna say Denmark and one's gonna say España. Anyway, this is what they look like before they're finished. So I've got to take some sanding to them, put them in the pickle, and I'll show you what they look like when they're done. So right now I'm using Black Max to darken up the metal. I will then polish up the high points and seal the whole thing with a wax finish. And as a side note, look at my hands. They always look like this. Am I the most glamorous woman you've ever seen?